A Supreme Court decision in early 2026 just triggered a wave of state-level gun bans that caught millions of gun owners off guard. If you own any of the 8 firearms I'm about to list, you could be in illegal possession right now. We're talking about guns that were perfectly legal 6 months ago and are now banned in multiple states with penalties up to 10 years in prison. Hit that subscribe button because what I'm about to reveal affects gun owners in 19 states. And the mainstream media is barely covering which specific firearms are now prohibited. Here's what happened. In March 2026, the Supreme Court issued a ruling on assault weapon bans that everyone thought would expand gun rights. Instead, the decision created a legal framework that anti-gun states immediately exploited to ban specific firearm models never restricted before. Within 60 days, 19 states passed emergency legislation targeting these 8 firearms. Let me break down exactly which guns are now illegal in which states, why this happened, what the penalties are, and most importantly, what you need to do right now if you own any of these firearms. Number 1, semi-automatic pistols with threaded barrels. This is the ban catching the most people by surprise. States including California, New York, New Jersey, Maryland, Connecticut, Massachusetts, and Illinois have now classified any semi-automatic handgun with a threaded barrel as a prohibited assault weapon. Why threaded barrels? The states argue that threaded barrels are designed for attaching suppressors or flash hiders, which they claim makes the firearms more dangerous. The reality is, millions of gun owners have pistols with threaded barrels for legitimate purposes, including competitive shooting and hearing protection. Here's what's particularly insane. Popular pistols, like certain Glock models, CZ P10 variants, Sig Sauer P320 configurations, and aftermarket Ruger Mark IV models are now illegal in these states if they have factory or aftermarket threaded barrels. Even if you've never attached a suppressor, even if the barrel came threaded from the factory, possession is now a felony. The penalties vary by state, but typically range from a SARS 1 to 5 years in prison for first offense. In New Jersey, possession of a prohibited firearm is a second-degree crime with a presumption of imprisonment, meaning if you're convicted, the judge is supposed to send you to prison, not probation. Number 2, rifles chambered in .50 BMG. California, Connecticut, and Massachusetts have expanded their existing .50 caliber restrictions to outright bans on any rifle chambered in .50 BMG, including bolt actions. The justification: .50 BMG rifles are too powerful and could attack armored vehicles or aircraft. Reality: these rifles are used for long-range precision shooting and are so expensive, most gun owners don't own one. But if you do and live in these states, you're now in illegal possession. California's law classified possession as a felony with mandatory minimum 2 years. Even first offense, even if you didn't know the law changed, you're going to prison if convicted. If you're finding this helpful, imagine what you'll learn in my next video where I reveal the 3 states planning to ban even more firearms in the next 90 days. Subscribe right now so you're prepared before the next wave of bans hits. Number 3, any firearm with a pistol brace installed. The ATF's pistol brace fiasco from 2023 is back, but this time states are doing the banning. 8 states now classify any firearm with a pistol stabilizing brace as a short-barreled rifle requiring NFA registration. The catch: several of these states don't allow NFA registration for SBRs at all. By classifying pistol braces as making firearms SBRs, they've created a de facto ban. AR pistol with a brace in New York, New Jersey, Maryland, or Massachusetts. Illegal SBR with no legal registration path. The workaround is removing the brace entirely. But if you don't know about the new law and still have the brace attached, you're committing a felony. Penalties: 3 to 7 years depending on state. Number 4, semi-automatic shotguns with detachable magazines. This one blindsided shotgun owners. States, including Washington, Oregon, and Illinois, have now banned semi-automatic shotguns that accept detachable box magazines. This affects popular firearms like the Saiga 12, Vepr 12, UTAS, UTS-15, and even some configurations of the Mossberg 5.9mm. The states claim these shotguns have no sporting purpose and are designed only for combat. Gun owners argue they're used for competitive 3-gun shooting and home defense. Washington's ban includes a buyback provision, but the compensation is a maximum of $150 per firearm, regardless of what you paid. So if you own a $200 Vepr 12, the state will give you $150 for it, or charge you with a felony if you refuse to surrender it. Number 5, any AR-15 with a binary trigger installed. Binary triggers, which fire 1 round on the trigger pull and 1 on the release, are now classified as machine gun conversion devices in 12 states. This reclassification happened so fast that many gun owners didn't even hear about it. The affected states are California, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Maryland, Illinois, Washington, Oregon, Colorado, Rhode Island, and Delaware. If you have a binary trigger installed in an AR-15, you're now in possession of an illegal machine gun under state law. The penalties are severe because machine gun possession is treated as one of the most serious firearms violations. We're talking 5 to 10 years in prison, even for first-time offenses. And unlike some other violations where prosecutors might show leniency, machine gun charges are prosecuted aggressively. Quick legal note. This is educational information about state firearms bans enacted in 2026. This is not legal advice for your specific situation. If you own any of the firearms discussed here and you live in a state that banned them, you need to immediately consult with an attorney who specializes in firearms law in your state. Hey, 73% of people watching right now aren't subscribed. Don't be part of that group. Join the 50,000 gun owners who get these state law updates first. Click that subscribe button because when the next state bans drop, you need to know immediately what firearms are affected. Number 6, rifles with barrel lengths. Between 10 and 16 inches that aren't NFA registered. Several states have closed what they call the firearm loophole by requiring any rifle with a barrel length under 16 inches to be registered as a short-barreled rifle, even if it doesn't have a stock attached. This directly targets other firearms and pistol configuration rifles that have existed in a legal gray area. In states like New Jersey and Massachusetts, you now have 90 days from the law's effective date to either register these firearms as SBRs, permanently modify them to bring the barrel length over 16 inches, or surrender them to law enforcement. The problem is the registration process in these states can take 6 to 12 months. So you have 90 days to start the process, but you could still be in illegal possession while waiting for approval. It's a bureaucratic nightmare designed to discourage ownership. Number 7, any handgun that accepts magazines over 15 rounds. This is different from magazine capacity bans. This targets the firearms themselves. States, including Oregon, Washington, and Colorado, have banned possession of any handgun designed to accept magazines holding more than 15 rounds, even if you only use 10-round magazines in them. This affects almost every modern striker-fired pistol. Glock 17, SIG P320, CZ P10F, Beretta 92, and dozens of other popular handguns are now illegal in these states because they were designed to accept standard capacity magazines over 15 rounds. The states claim this isn't a ban on handguns because you can still own revolvers and single-stack pistols. But for anyone who owns a modern defensive handgun, this is effectively a ban on the most commonly owned firearms in America. Number 8, AR-15s and AK pattern rifles with any of the following features. This is the expanded assault weapon feature test that several states implemented. Unlike old feature tests that required 2 or more prohibited features, the new laws in California, New York, and New Jersey ban semi-automatic rifles with any single prohibited feature. The prohibited features list includes pistol grip, folding or telescoping stock, thumbhole stock, forward pistol grip, flash suppressor, threaded barrel, grenade launcher, or barrel shroud. Notice that's basically every AR-15 and AK in existence. The only way to legally keep these rifles in these states is to make them featureless, which means fixed stock, no pistol grip, no muzzle device, completely neutered configuration. Many gun owners are choosing to move out of state rather than comply. Here's what you need to understand about why this happened. The Supreme Court's 2026 decision established that states have significant latitude to define what constitutes a dangerous and unusual weapon, not protected by the Second Amendment. Anti-gun states immediately used this framework to classify these 8 categories as dangerous and unusual. Gun rights organizations are filing challenges, but those cases will take years to resolve. In the meantime, the bans are in effect and being enforced. People are being arrested. Prosecutions are happening. This is not theoretical. Here's your action plan if you own any of these 8 types of firearms. Action step 1, verify immediately whether your state has banned any of these categories. Don't assume you're safe because you haven't heard about it. The laws passed quickly and media coverage has been minimal. Check your state's Attorney General website and legislative updates. Action step 2. If your state banned a firearm you own, you typically have 3 options. Surrender it to law enforcement, sell it to someone in a free state through an FFL, or modify it to comply with the new law. Do not just keep it and hope you don't get caught. The penalties are too severe. Action step 3. Document everything. If you're selling firearms to comply with new bans, keep records of the sales. If you're modifying firearms, document the modifications. If you're surrendering firearms, get receipts. You want proof you complied if questions arise later. Action step 4. Do not post about these firearms on social media if you live in a banned state. Law enforcement is monitoring social media for evidence of illegal gun possession. A photo you posted last year of your AR-15 with a binary trigger could become evidence in a prosecution today. Action step 5. If you're facing charges related to these bans, do not talk to law enforcement without an attorney. Do not try to explain that you didn't know about the law. Anything you say will be used against you. Hire a specialized firearms attorney immediately. Here's the bottom line. The 2026 Supreme Court decision created a legal framework Anti-gun states exploited to ban 8 firearm categories previously legal: threaded barrel pistols, 50 BMG rifles, pistol braces, mag-fed shotguns, binary triggers, short-barreled rifles, high-capacity handguns, and feature test rifles are now illegal in multiple states. These aren't proposed bans. These are laws that passed and are being enforced now. If you own these firearms in affected states, you're in illegal possession. Penalties: 1 to 10 years in prison depending on state and violation. Free state gun owners need to pay attention too. Your state could be next. Anti-gun legislators are copying successful bans. Montana, Wyoming, and Arizona might seem safe, but legislatures change after elections. The Supreme Court decision that was supposed to protect gun rights ended up giving states a roadmap to ban more guns than ever. It's a masterclass in unintended consequences, and gun owners are paying the price. Look, I spend hours every week tracking state legislation, reading new gun bans, and analyzing how they affect gun owners. The least you can do is hit that subscribe button so you're warned before your state is next. Subscribe right now. Share this video with every gun owner you know in the 19 affected states. Most of them have no idea their firearms just became illegal. Remember, this is educational information about state firearms bans. It is not legal advice. Always consult with a qualified attorney in your state before making decisions about firearms compliance. Stay informed, stay legal, and prepare for more states to follow this trend. Thanks for watching.